Hey guys, and welcome to my next Let's Play. This is Star Control 2, a science fiction, essentially strategy game released in 1992 by Accolade for PC and subsequently released on the 3DO console. I'm playing it on the version known as Ur-Quan Masters, which is essentially a port of the 3DO version back onto the PC, made to run on modern day systems and also updated with voices, music, etc. First thing to do is get a name for myself, that'll be Boomer, and a name for our ship. I've decided to call it the White Star for the moment, after the ship from Babylon 5, but I'm open to suggestions about what the ship should be called, nothing profane please. And basically the idea at this point is now to move into orbit of Earth and find out essentially what's happened the last few years that I've been away. Are we still at war with the Ur-Quan? Basically a ancient race who decided to declare war on the Alliance of Free Stars, of which Earth is a part. You'll get a big history lesson soon. This is just going to serve mainly as an introduction to the mechanics of the game. And, oh, what's that? This should be interesting.
Attention, interloper. Heed this recorded message. This drone vessel speaks with the voice and authority of the Ur-Quan. You are trespassing within Ur-Quan space. This world, Earth, may not be approached for any reason, nor will hostilities against our orbital platform be tolerated. In addition, your ship does not respond to standard hierarchy identification transmissions, and is therefore deemed to be independent. This is not permissible. Only subservience shall be tolerated. This drone now leaves to inform the Ur-Quan of your transgressions. You are commanded to remain here and await the arrival of the Ur-Quan. Disobedience will be punished.
Well, that was slightly unnerving, but I've got to get that for the answering machine on my phone. Well, we might as well examine the starbase. What's going on here?
Attention, unidentified space vessel. I am Starbase Commander Hayes of the slave planet Earth. Our hyperwave broadcast is extremely weak. Situation critical. Energy cores exhausted. Scanners and deep radar are non-functional. We cannot identify your vessel. Are you the scheduled hierarchy resupply ship? Repeat, are you the resupply vessel?
Well, I gather from that Earth lost the war. Maybe if you hadn't been busy throwing raves, you might have actually won.
The starship what? Never mind, look, we won't last much longer. Here's our situation. According to our oath of fealty to the Ur-Quan, we must maintain the starbase, but we have no space vessels of our own, and the shield prevents us from contacting Earth, so we're totally dependent on the Ur-Quan supply vessels for everything we need up here. We know there's a hierarchy base on the surface of the moon, but we can't contact them. The Ur-Quan were supposed to resupply the base at regular 5-year intervals, but we haven't received anything in almost 8 years. What we don't recycle, we can usually synthesize, but to do so we need replacement radioactives for our generator energy cores. If you could bring us some radioactive elements, we can fabricate the cores ourselves. Are you willing to help us? The fastest way to get radioactives in this system would be to land on Mercury and scour the surface for deposits of radioactive elements. But be careful, Mercury's a pretty inhospitable place. Watch out for earthquakes and those high temperature areas. Thanks, I'll make sure to mention this the next time I talk with our masters. I'm sure they will reward you.
If by reward you mean blow completely out of the stars, given our initial contact with them, you're probably correct. So this is the main resource gathering area of the game. There are two types of resources, and we're going to go into the first type here. And this is basically mineral wealth. Now, he mentioned that Mercury is a fairly inhospitable place. Compared to some of the planets in the game, it's not actually that bad, but it can be fairly dangerous. You'll notice that it says weather none, tectonics class 3, and temperature 165. So they're fairly low overall, but it does mean that there is some danger on the surface of the planet. As you can see, I've scanned and there were different colours of materials, and this is sort of a tree showing what each of the minerals are worth. We will have this all explained to us in the near future. But you have to do this on quite a few planets. It's also part of the storyline on occasion. There are storyline things that you can collect on planets. So for the most part, I'm going to be cutting out these resource gathering areas, because for the most part the only thing that's of use to someone who's watching this as a walkthrough is basically what the planet's name is, and I will put that up as a call out on the video rather than make you watch me doing this ad infinitum. As you can see, my planet lander took damage there, which killed members on board it, and if every member is killed then the planet lander will explode and I'll lose it, which is going to cost me money in the short term and generally be fairly inconvenient. So your best idea is just to dodge the fire and tectonics as best you can. When there are weather patterns as well, the ship will occasionally be struck by lightning, so you can imagine some of the planets that we end up on fairly inhospitable. Of course, being computer game logic, the ones that are most inhospitable often tend to have pretty high mineral deposits on them, so we will be able to upgrade our ships and our planet landers later on in the game, but at the moment we are pretty much on base materials. Still, we've cleaned out the planet now, so it's time for us to head back to the starbase. As I said, I'll be cutting most of that out in future unless there's a storyline element of the mission, but I will at least let you guys know where I have gone, just so that you've got an idea of what planets are good and bad to go ahead and mine, because not all of them are that good. But anyway, back to the starbase, and a little meeting with Commander Raverson there, and maybe he can turn off his light switch rave for a bit and maybe help me out in freeing Earth from underneath that slave shield.
Did you find any radioactive elements for our power cores? We're initiating transfer of radioactives, Captain. Now, as soon as our engineers can refit the energy cores, there, that's much better. Power ratings are climbing. Life support is coming back into the green. Deep radar systems and sensors are now online, and I can scan your vessel. What the hell kind of ship is that? Just who are you, Captain? Star Control science mission, huh? Captain, I served as a Star Control officer during the war aboard several cruisers in the Corward Front. And if there'd been any scientific mission to Vela, I would have heard about it. You know, come to think of it, there were some rumors that Corridor 9, the Special Operations Division of Star Control, was directing some hush-hush operation near Androsynth Space. The Vela star system, yes, that would be the right direction. So, Captain, if you say it's true, how do you explain that huge alien starship you're flying? Why are you here? What do you want from us?
Oh, just the usual galactic conquest style stuff.
Fight the Ur-Quan. Win back our freedom. I remember having such thoughts myself once, long time ago. That was in the first years after the defeat, when it was still terrifying to look up and see the bloody glow of the pulsating slave shield overhead. Though day and night we gazed up at the impenetrable wall as though the sheer power of our hatred would pull it down. But over the years I spent so much of my time struggling, down on the surface, under the shield, and then later up here trying to keep the station alive, that I'd forgotten what it means to be free, to hate our Ur-Quan masters. And now here you are, in an alien ship of unknown power offering me your assistance to fight against the hierarchy again after all these years. Captain, your offer is intriguing. It's tempting to think that with your advanced precursor technology we can somehow crack the Earth's slave shield and reassemble the Alliance to attack the hierarchy. And this time, win the damn war. Consider the consequences if you should fail. The Ur-Quan won't just punish us here on the station, they'll exact a gruesome retribution on the surface below as well. Before I commit this station to helping you attack the Ur-Quan and accepting the risk of annihilation if we are defeated, I have to make sure that you and your ship have what it takes to oppose the hierarchy. I'll make you a deal. If you can eliminate the alien base on the moon and get rid of that threat at least, I will seriously consider your offer. After the Ur-Quan erected the slave shield around the Earth and established this space station, they decided to leave a contingent of combat ships close to the Earth to keep watch on our planet and confirm that they were obeying the Ur-Quan slave laws. I'm certain they're still out there on the surface of the moon because we can pick up a constant stream of alien broadcasts. Be careful, Captain. There are probably a dozen Spathia looters and Ilrath Avengers down there on the lunar surface. I don't know why they haven't come after you yet, but when they do, you'd better have your weapons armed and your thrusters burning hot.
And that's the end of part 1 of this little tutorial. Join me for part 2 soon. Thanks, guys.